Nagrew, yet another success, 2017 Indaba. This is a spectacular, event that takes place here in Durban every year, and you guys do it successfully. However, there's been some misconception within the communities and questions being asked and concerns being raised that the communities, especially at the civil society level, are concerned that they're segregated by Indaba and that they feel invaded. They're invaded for a couple of days and then they're not even invited. They come through, they're told that visitors must pay 680 Rand. How true is that? What is 680 Rand for? And just take us through the different categories that are available for registration or participation at Indaba and why the public is not welcome, or is the public welcome?
Okay, so I think the most important thing is to contextualize Indaba. So Indaba is predominantly a trade show. So it's like mining Indaba. It's really around a trade show. So it's business to business meetings. There is no consumer day. There's nothing that we sell directly to public. So that's kind of the reason why your consumers, your public wouldn't be invited, because there's actually nothing on sale to them. For example, you can't walk into Indaba and buy a holiday. You can't meet with a travel agent and put a holiday together. However, what Indaba is, it's literally the product of South Africa meeting buyers that are sitting locally and globally. So buyers internationally, for example, major tour operators that sit in country, which is in our lead country with the biggest numbers right now in America, would come through, would look at the vast product we have and say, okay, fine, in these certain provinces, I'm going to go and I'm going to contract Tsogosan as my main hotel provider in, say, KZN. I'm going to go to Radisson in Johannesburg. I'm going to go to a different provider in Limpopo, a different provider out in Protea, out in Mpumalanga. But it's really about saying, what do we have as product in the country and what do we offer? And then that starts defining our categories. So our categories are very explicit and they're very important to understand. So we have very basic categories. If we start there, you have an exhibitor category, which basically means you're a product or you have a service or something that you sell in the tourism industry. So you could be an adventure tour operator, you could be a product which is a hotel, a bed and breakfast, you could be a guy who does cycle tours. So as long as you have a tourism product and offering, you are now classified as an exhibitor. Then we have a buyer. So there's two types of buyers. There's a local buyer, which is based in South Africa, which is within our borders, and then there's an international buyer, which is outside our borders. So anywhere, whether it's a SADC region or an international market. And then again, those are very strict. For example, when you're classified as a buyer, that means I am a business operating, whether it's in South Africa as a tour operator. I'll give an example, like Tour Vest in the country is both an exhibitor and a buyer. So the Tour Vest would be an exhibitor to external clients, so bigger tour operators from, say, USA, UK, wherever. And then you'd also have Tour Vest going into your SMME product that we've got here and going like, okay, who do I find really cool that's doing a nice bed and breakfast that I can do in Mpumalanga, who's doing some cool cycling tours. So when they write an itinerary for a traveler, the itinerary crosses all these products. So he's both an exhibitor and he's a buyer. So that's how he works. That whole package is then packaged, given to an external travel agent who sits in country travel operator, and then they sell it. And then those are also categories that are placed digitally. So that's kind of the main category. So if you don't really fall in those either category, I don't have a product to sell or I don't have a product to buy, then it becomes difficult, because then you are going to find Indaba has no value to you, because you're going to come in, what exactly, there's nothing to buy and there's nothing to sell. And like you guys, we have a massive media contingent that's here to cover every aspect of Indaba, from the African ministers, media to the opening, to the closing, all of that. So that's a huge contingent of media. And the reason we do this is obviously to make sure that we have a diary system that we work on. So for you to, once you've qualified as either exhibitor or buyer, you get access into the diary system, which basically means that I can now set up a meeting with anybody else that's deemed as a buyer if I'm an exhibitor, and if I'm a buyer, I can then make meetings with anybody that's deemed as an exhibitor, those meetings happen. So we do 10 meetings a day. The diary opens at 10 o'clock in the morning. It closes at 5, just around between 5:30 and 6. And that diary is open for the full 3 days. So if you're not classified in that, you can't have meetings, you don't have the diary system, etc., etc. So it doesn't really work that way. You won't find Indaba as the writing platform for you. However, we're always open to find out who are these applications. Can we sit down and have a conversation? How do we guide them so we can help them within our industry? Because tourism is quite a very cool industry, and I think it's, as you heard all the numbers the last few days, it's a growing sector. It's bringing more and more each year to our GDP. We want to do inclusive growth. We've had really, really cool SMMEs that we've worked. And the way we've run our SMME program, we've been to every single province across the country, looked at various databases, worked with the NDT, we've worked with, as I say, tourism, we've worked with SATSA, we've worked with quite a few people. And then we've put together SMMEs in each province. We've done a training week for them to equip them so they can understand what they're doing. And then from there, we had them present on the last day. And then the top 10 from that process was invited to Indaba. So once at Indaba, they really are equipped to handle meetings, handle international buyers. We've also guided them to understand that for them to be here, their product has to be at a certain level. So yeah, so that's really how it's classified.
One of the civil society members complains that she came through and she was told to pay 680 or 670 rand. Now we all know that sometimes information gets lost in translation. So can you clarify, just for the sake of them understanding, what is exactly this 670 or 680 rand for, and who pays it or eligible to pay it?
Okay, so the 680 rand is for what we call them as local buyers. So anybody that's situated in the country that is a buyer. The 680 rand is really twofold. One, we give you, there's a lot of costs associated with running a show like this. The show is 22,000 square meters. We have over 1,000 exhibitors. We have over 1,500 buyers, international buyers that come through. Those costs help us to give the user better experience. For example, once that 680 rand really goes to the production of your badge, it goes to the access of the diary system. It's really and because we're a government entity, we don't make profit out of anything, but it assists us to help cover the actual costs of running the show. So that 680 rand goes to the production of a badge, it goes to the diary system, and it allows you to set up meetings, and then you have full access to the media, to anything that happens in Indaba, and to the opening cocktails and anything else that happens. And it's really, I think, putting a cost to it helps us also maintain that people take this sector seriously. So when they come in, the fact that you're paying, we have an entrance, it's more like a cost recovery than anything else. People take it seriously. They know, if I've spent so much money, I'm going to come in, I'm going to do those meetings, I'm going to work it, I'm going to find what the opportunities, where are the networking events, where can I go. Even at a networking event, it's like, how many buyers can I meet, who do I need to source, what are the networking, the speed seminars that I can go to, the speed networking seminars that I can go to. So it's 680 rand. But it's really around a cost recovery. And like I said, with government, as I say, tourism and the National Department of Tourism, there's a lot of investment that goes to make Indaba better and better every year. And we're sitting in a position where we have to make sure that certain hard costs that we have to pay for are covered. So that's really where the cost comes in. But, like we've always said, we're ready to engage. We also do webinars through Tourism Update. We've done something prior to Indaba. Myself and the CEO, Sisanchona, have done it, and we're looking to do one post Indaba. So those are the times we encourage people to get onto the website while we're doing the webinar, ask us questions, and then we can also facilitate a discussion about it. Because, whilst we have a set type of organization structure around Indaba, it doesn't mean we're not open to discussion on, can we change it? How do we create more inclusive growth? Is there hosting programs that we can talk about? Can we talk to our domestic team to look at how we can actually review certain structures? Towards the end of the last year, we've done a lot of stakeholder engagement. So people were saying we need a conference. We've done the Business Opportunity Networking Day on Monday, so we've created a conference. People said we needed E2E marketing. which is exhibitor to exhibitor marketing. We've done it on Monday already. So this year in Indaba, we've already started. People said we had issues with the diary system. We've cleaned that up. People said they wanted more networking time. We've created extra networking events. They wanted more speed marketing. We've got speed marketing running at 8:30 to 10 a.m. So we've listened to the industry where they've consulted us and they've said we've got some ideas. We're never going to get all the ideas and make every idea work. But I think what we've proven this year and what we've shown is our commitment to speak to people, to respond, and to engage with them.
So in closing, where can people find you if they have any more queries, or what are the details, online details that you'd like people to send their queries to?
Okay, so on the Indaba website, we've got all the details of the event organizers. You can go directly to them, and also on South African Tourism, SouthAfrica.net. We also have a lot of email addresses there, and yeah, if people can put it through there, they're welcome to call our main office at head office, which is 011-895-3000, and if they need to talk to us, we're happy to talk to us.
Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you.